Hello, gentlemen. Welcome back.
Bonjour.
Oh, he broke out the French. Yeah.
Oh, bienvenue.
Wait. Okay, here we go. So, we're gonna do a mini episode because our boy Brian, he missed a couple episodes ago when we talked about Deadpool. Brian, wait, did you ever see Deadpool?
I watched it in Paris, and it was awesome.
Was it in French?
It had subtitles. I had to look up specifically for the little mod icon or whatever next to the movie time that said that this was version original, meaning I could understand it.
Did you go with your whole family, or you went by yourself on
I went
off
with
night?
me and Anna on an off night.
Yeah.
We went and saw it at this movie theater called Le Grand Rex, and it was incredible. It was kind of like a Radio City Music Hall type theater,
huge, amphitheater kind of theater.
And they only sat the audience in the balcony. And for before the movie started, I was like, why can't we go to the orchestra? Why are we stuck in the balcony?
Yeah.
And I realized why, because when the movie started, they let down this giant projector screen from the balcony ceiling,
right in front of the balcony.
So yes, it was amazing, and the sound was huge, and the screen was grand. It was grand, and the jokes were flying.
Okay, so thumbs up, thumbs down. You didn't get to give your take on it.
I liked it.
Listen to the Deadpool pod
messy,
and tell us what you think.
Brian is never listening to it. He hasn't listened to a single pod since
If I'm not on it, I'm not listening to it.
You're not even listening to the ones you're on.
I mean, the rule still stands.
Just because the Venn diagram is a circle don't mean that it's still not a Venn diagram.
I know. Brian is like, I was there. Why am I listening to it again?
I know what I said.
That's fair. All right, so we're gonna do a little mini episode here, and we're just gonna talk about all things Olympics. So
cue the music.
No, we're gonna get a takedown order by NBC because they fucking don't play around with copyright shit like that for the Olympics. The first thing is that there was a little mini, guffaw, controversy, bullying situation.
A kerfuffle?
Yeah, it was
bullying situation. Those are your words.
That's my words. I do think it was a little bit of bullying going on there. In the breaking competition with the women's side, Raygun had a tough go of it. Did not score any points with the judges or secure any votes. It's not really points. And we just wanted to get Brian, who's been a dancer for a long time in the breaking world, has done competitions overseas. In fact, we'll tell you about that later.
He's really like that.
Brian made us go to a competition in Munich. We specifically went to Munich just so he could do this competition on our.
It was awesome.
On our German
trip.
Terrible,
but it was awesome.
It was really fun. I'm glad he made us do that. But so Brian knows a little bit about like how scoring works, how competitions can work, and has been documenting Sunny. I don't know her last name. Is it Choi?
Sunny Choi. Big girl Sunny.
As she's been approaching the Olympics and got to perform and compete there. So he's in this world, and me and Savon were just sort of like, Brian, tell us what's up. Is this a real controversy? Is this just a made-up controversy that people outside looking in had because they're couch Monday morning quarterbacks, basically? What's the real situation inside the actual dance community, Brian?
Well, I gotta clarify that I'm not a breaker. I'm in the popping scene.
Yeah.
I used to break in college. So I'm more like breaking adjacent, right? Okay. It's like same but different.
More adjacent than me or Savon and than anybody on Twitter giving their opinion.
100%. Everybody on Twitter giving their opinion is like they're the farthest thing from breaking. They must be like people who are, I don't know, doing the polka dance somewhere off in Bumblefuck America. Like they're
not even dancing.
Yeah, you're correct.
Right, that's the problem.
They're using marionettes to do the polka. That's how far removed they are from this.
All right, so give us the real scoop. I think people just would like to know, like, is this really a big deal? Was her dance appropriate, not appropriate? And, like, some of the discourse that surrounded it, like, are there things that you're like, yeah, that's a fair criticism? Or are there things you're like, that's just absurd? Like, who cares about that?
About the good people, too, who was cooking.
Oh, Jesus. The guy that won on the guy's side was amazing.
Phil Wizard. Shout out to
Yeah.
Phil Wizard.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
let's shout
That
them
dude
out.
is a beast. And so okay, so I was there. I was there both days for the B girls on Friday, for the B boys on Saturday. I had a really good time. Like it was just
cool.
such a celebration to see
That's cool.
breaking at this stage with, all the fans from Paris and whomever cheering it on, but also because when I was there, I didn't realize this in advance of the Olympics, but when I was there, I realized that tons of B-boys from the US, from New York City specifically, came out to also partake in the events and to celebrate. There were there were stalwarts from the community. There were people who were really well known. There were OGs, like legendary B-boys, like first generation 1970s B-boys came out to show love. So it was like a really good time, and Snoop came out and like blessed the stage. And then we were off and we were having such a great time.
Well, that's good because that didn't actually come through. It felt like the audience was really far away from the actual like stage. And so the energy from the crowd, actually, it was hard to translate. It didn't come through on TV. I don't know, Savon, if you got to see any of it, but I had a hard time like feeling that energy. So I'm actually glad to hear that that was different in person.
People around me were super hyped.
Oh, that's good.
Super hyped. I would say that there were often times though when the uninitiated crowd did not know what they were watching though. However, right? Like that's always been an issue with breaking. Like people understand the power moves, the big acrobatic gymnastic moves that are big and flashy. They tend not to be able to appreciate the more nuanced, detailed, technical stuff, which you will probably only understand if you yourself have done this dance, or if if you just got swag.
I mean,
right?
but I guess
people with
sport,
swag
right?
understand swag, right?
Yeah.
So there was a mixed bag in terms of that, but on the whole, I think people had a great time. They had a great time. And so like when we left the venue and like got back on our phones and saw what the discourse was, that it was all about this one B girl from Australia, Raygun, who nobody even, had any expectations for her. Right? We all, like those of us going into this already knew, okay, there's going to be some representatives from certain continents where they don't necessarily have a big breaking scene. They don't necessarily have one that's well developed. And there are going to be some certain people who are put on the stage that are just not
as
meant to be here, right? They're here because we needed a rep.
It's a global sport.
From Oceania. We needed a rep from Africa, right? They're, it's kind of like when you watch USA basketball. Like, do you remember 1992 Dream Team? They just smashed Angola so hard. And you're like, Angola, I'm sorry. You're just like a sacrificial lamb in this. Like, we know your country needs a lot more support to have a fully thriving basketball program. The same is true in breaking, right? So it was always known, like, okay.
And no one said like Angola
there's going to be
is
some
like
sacrifices here.
A disrespect to the sport or anything like that.
No, you're kind of like, good job, guys.
Yeah,
good job. You're here.
It's the Olympics. Some countries are just not going to be good at certain sports, and that's just, hey man, it's just how it be.
There's a lot of other
just what it is. That's what it is.
That's the Olympic format.
So is that how you think the community kind of viewed Australia?
Yeah. When she's going out, like, people are like, okay, yeah, whatever. She's not going to get any votes. Whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't think I even noticed what she was doing. I wasn't even paying attention to her, right? And this is all
well, she was battling the Lithuanian
prelim.
who
this
was
all
good.
Just in the prelim, though.
Yeah.
Right? This is like the group stage where, you just go back and forth with the people in your group and, and the top two get out. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like these are sort of a little bit more inconsequential, depending on who's in your group. So, yeah, I wasn't really trying to watch her. Right.
Okay.
Like every time she's getting down, like I know that she's not going to do great. So when I got home, I should say, and I saw that all the discourse is about her and then what she was doing, my sister made me watch a video of her doing the kangaroo moves.
That was awesome.
I did not see live. absurd.
I saw it at
Like,
the end. I was like, that was so cool.
Was it? It was cool because it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious because it was ridiculous. And it was ridiculous because it was bad. Like if that's what you're gonna throw up on the biggest stage breaking has ever had, like, all right, well, okay, that's you, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was sad
What
to see
happens.
it was sad to see that was dominating, the airwaves. That's what was trending, rather than saying like, oh snap, B-girl Ami from Japan, she was smoking people. Oh snap, like B-girl Nika from Lithuania, wow, that girl
She was good.
can really like funk out with her top rock, right? Like, rather than like, holy crap, 671 from China has the craziest power moves and so much explosiveness in all of her flares, right? Rather than those things being the discourse, it was like somebody nobody cared about is now dominating the conversation for breaking. That's, to me, that was the biggest controversy.
Go Sav.
Woo, Brian, man, get this boy. Oh, look at him, a gold sticker, a gold star.
Give me a gold medal.
Get a gold medal, man. Look, talk that shit, man. The biggest reason I was upset with this, Wes, we were in the same group chats, right? We were on this. I think you and I were probably on the same page from the bounce. It wasn't good. That's okay. We don't have to focus on things that aren't good and let that be all we focus on. Because, I mean, granted, I don't have the context of the breaking stuff, Brian, I'll admit, but I do have the context of, hey, if I don't enjoy something, I just don't engage with it. And I don't give it unnecessary amounts of attention, especially not in a way that takes from people who are doing awesome, because I had to damn near go out of my way to find, because some of it I didn't miss straight up because I was out and about busy. So what I did miss and I found, I was like, dude, these people are tearing it up. I'm not hearing diddly squat about them. And even me, as someone who doesn't know a lot about breaking, I would have loved to have been, like, one of my favorite things about the Olympics is to learn about who the top people in just certain, fields are.
Yeah,
like,
you want to know the pinnacle of that sport.
Yeah,
right?
I like to know who the best of the best. And I'm like, okay, this wasn't good, but we don't have to talk about it. Even in the group chat we were in when we was posting it, I said, y'all, we don't actually have to give attention to this. Like, it sucks. We can acknowledge that. But even now in our group chat, our conversation is about this instead of the people who are awesome. And I'm like, man, this is the problem we have as like a culture of just, frankly, outrage sells, and it's easier to tear things down than to appreciate something. And it just stops us from enjoying good stuff, right? And like, even with our Olympic, like, I'll hand back to you with the B-boy in a second, but even like with Olympic basketball, our team was doing great, and half the conversation is about why Tatum not playing. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, dude,
who cares about Tatum?
Great. And I say this,
we don't need him.
And this isn't even me, like, no, this isn't even about like Tatum personally, but it's just, this doesn't have to be the conversation, but because controversy and negativity sells, it is the conversation rather than, hey, yo, man, our team is cooking. Booker's playing D. Granted, at the end, we were a lot more appreciative, but it took up more of the conversation than it should have. And I don't know, this Olympics in that regard, I feel like I'm a little disappointed in our culture as a whole, in that why we focus on the negativity.
People love it.
I think people focus on this particular negative moment in part because they the haters, right, and people at large basically have a very very misguided conception of what breaking is and what breaking should be, right? And that doesn't match the reality of it, and so they are getting worked up about it, right? It gives them more reason to like voice an opinion. So basically what I'm saying is they think that, in their mind, in people's minds, like, breaking is just like this thing that kids did in the Bronx in the 70s and 80s, right? And then they don't know everything that happened between then and now. And so when they suddenly tune in, or they're not even tuning in, they basically see a clip.
Yeah.
Right? They see a clip of this one woman from Australia who's white, like like very white, like like Australian PhD white, doing some really ridiculous things, and people suddenly are outraged because they feel they're coming to conclusions about what's happening to breaking culture, and something that Black and brown people started and pioneered in the Bronx, and without really understanding the full context of everything, right? Based on that one cherry picked clip of this woman. And I think that is really unfortunate. That's the thing that bothers me, because what I was hoping for was that people would tune in to the actual competition itself, listen to the music, get the vibe, see how colorful this culture is, like colorful in terms of not just like where it's being done, who's doing it, but like in terms of the flavor, the style, the moves, the attitude, all of that stuff that comes into breaking, which what makes it really special and unique relative to all the other things going on at the Olympics. You have all of that here on display, and unfortunately that gets overshadowed by somebody you're not meant to talk about. We're not meant to talk about Angola. We're not meant to talk about
Bronny James.
Australia, people who have not been breaking very long. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. So I think that's a reasonable take on breaking. Any dancers you wanted to shout out for, like, as you saw, you were like, damn, that's like next level?
Who should we check out?
So really, so the B-girl thing happened. Everybody's focused on Raygun. What was interesting was that the B-boys went on Saturday, and they were like, yo, F that noise. We're going to bring it. And they effing brought it. Yo, they were really on fire all day. You got to check out this dude, Jeffro, from Team USA, who's from Houston, Texas. He's Haitian American, and this guy was the epitome of b-boying. He was the epitome of breaking. He is like so funky, dancing. He's improvising like crazy, playing with the music. There's a moment where they're playing Eric B and Rakim, Know the Ledge, and like the song, there's like a lyric about jumping off the ledge or something, and he does it perfectly in time with the music. Is so good. Watch his battle against Danny Dan from Paris or from France, and they're just having this musical conversation, and showing truly what the essence of breaking is. And that boy got robbed, I gotta say. I got a problem with the judging.
Home cooking?
He got robbed. But anyway, like that's somebody you should definitely watch. And then of course, check out the final battles, like from the semifinals to the finals on each day, and you'll see what's up. Like this is really high level stuff that was going on. And like, I don't know how you don't get like wowed by any of it.
Ooh, that boy Brian cooking. Put the chef's hat on him. Give him a spatula. Give him a Pyrex, a pan, some butter. He cooking, baby.
I'm stirring that up.
Oh, I like this kid.
All right. So we wanted to real quick. I've never been to an Olympics. Sav, have you ever been to an Olympics?
Nah, man.
I'm hoping I can go to 2028. That'll be in my hometown. So I'm gonna look for how do I get tickets and just spend some time that summer at my parents' house and go to some venues and do kind of what Brian did. But Brian, you're in Paris, which you lived in Paris for a long time ago.
Wait, what?
I went to grad school in Paris.
So this is a city you're familiar with.
What the hell?
There's a lot of random things going on in my life.
Some Brian lore. I'm so mad we've done this
podcast
for like
2010
3 years.
Brian.
You didn't know he lived in Paris?
No.
I decided not to
like you.
I did not go back to school in New York. I could have. I almost did. But I was like, I think I'm going to go to this school in Paris so I can hang out in Paris, because that would be dope. I did it for the plot. I don't speak any French.
I was going to ask.
I never learned. I was out there for like 10 months. I think. And then when I went to go do an internship in the Netherlands after that. Yeah, so it's sort of, you could call it my city. Yeah, I own it. It's my city.
You're the mayor.
I'm so mad. I guess this is just gonna be my relationship with y'all too. Is that I'm not the lifelong friend, so I just get random lore drops like that just make me.
That's how it is.
What?
You gotta infer a lot of it.
Jeez.
So
I can't
Brian
wait
goes
to be
back
40.
to the scene of the crime.
I go back to my second home.
Your second home. Your second home.
This man is
Well,
hilarious.
I think
My
Brooklyn
maison
is your
de.
second home, and Jersey is your first home. But let's
Mr.
whatever.
Worldwide.
All right. So you're back in Paris. A place you got to spend a lot of time. And in the breaking scene, you were part of a group there, right? That danced. Regularly.
Breaking adjacent. And
Yeah.
yes,
Poppin'. Sorry.
I
Yeah.
did a lot of
Dancing.
dancing while I was out there. Yes.
Sav, we made a video in the Palace of Versailles of Brian dancing
Does it
when
still
we went to
exist?
visit a few
It's
years
a
before
long
that.
video.
Does it still
Does
exist?
it still exist?
And it's to a Common song.
Ooh,
Common.
which one?
MC Squared, I think.
Come on, man, you gotta give me that.
Where is that? I don't know if I have it.
I don't
still.
know. I think Z has it
Okay.
somewhere
All right.
in
Is
his
he about
hard
to be in
drive.
Detroit?
He is about to be in Detroit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, so let's take that detour then. So me and Brian and Z are college buddies. When did we graduate? 2006, right? Or Z graduated a little early. I think he graduated 2005.
I'm 2005 also.
And you're 2005. So we're actually we try and meet up
Finished
almost every
college
year.
in 2005.
Hey, shut up.
Don't emphasize it. Okay, we're
Dude,
moving
I was
on.
living through Hurricane Katrina when that happened. I was like in
Yes.
7th grade.
You were displaced.
Jesus.
So we try to meet up every year, although the past couple years haven't been as easy with like pandemic stuff been going on. But
And someone with children, like,
yeah,
geez,
the
what's
children
that
thing
about?
makes it also hard. But we're restarting the tradition. We went last year to Colorado, or was that 2 years ago? That was last year,
last
right?
year. That was
So
last
last
year.
year-
That's when you left Kaya in the room while y'all was playing cards, huh?
Yep.
She was crying, just locked in.
Crying her eyes out.
She'll be all right.
She'll be fine. And then
Bury her
this
face
year,
in a pillow.
yeah, this year we started off with like several different ideas, like North Carolina, and then I don't know where else we talked about. Milwaukee, I think. Well, we settled
Minnesota?
on Detroit. Oh yeah, Minnesota. We settled on Detroit for no.
I do not know how
no
we
actual
arrived at
reason.
Detroit.
It
I
was
think
just,
we just gave up on planning. We're like, okay.
yeah, sounds good. Fine, whatever. We let Z kind of lead on that one because he was trying to think about more places that were both a little bit urban and had some aspects of travel and it's a hub of one of the airlines or something. So we're but it turns out that Sav also lives in Detroit, and so we're gonna try and
What do
have
you
a meetup.
know?
This will be the first time we get to meet Sav in person, which will be great. Anyways, that's
The
our side note.
Triforce shall unite.
Yeah, so we might the Triforce. So we may record an episode in person next time. We just started talking about it. We haven't actually figured it out, so that'll be in a couple of weeks.
What I want to know from our listeners, from all 5 of our listeners, what do they want to hear when the 3 of us get together in person?
Like, is it us trying new foods in Detroit? Should we do like a show outside on the road? Should we do a show inside?
Should we
ought
do
to
like
hot? We ought to do hot ones.
Oh, no.
Just really.
We should
get
do hot ones. That would be
just-
kind of cool.
spicy and then ask each other deeply personal questions.
Hey, but like 90% of that show is that dude asking like really good questions. So
yeah.
somebody's
That's what
gotta
he
put-
just said.
Oh, okay. You gotta get the good questions out there, Sav, for us. We could do it. All right. Brian, in Paris during the Olympics, was it amazing? What was the vibes like in the city? Was there anything that you saw that you can never unsee? And that might be a good thing, or it might be a horrible thing that you want to eye bleach yourself with. What was the Paris experience like?
I mean,
The Olympics experience, really.
I want to bleach my eyes for Raygun, but that's not possible anymore. But anyway, so what I imagine Paris was like is how I envision San Diego to be during San Diego Comic-Con. Like
okay.
the
I was like,
entire city just seems engulfed by this one festival, this one convention. Everybody's just a Twitter. Everyone's just buzzing about everything that happens there, and it just like takes over the entire city.
It's
That's
in the
what
water,
Paris,
it's in the air.
yeah, exactly. It's in the food. Like that's what Paris felt like. It was just wow, like this city has really embraced the Olympics. It's everywhere, and part of it is because it's a European city, so it's kind of compact and connected through very intricate metro system. So everything just felt accessible and connected. You're walking down the street, you're suddenly near an Olympic venue, you're by an Olympic thing, you're walking down the street, cafes everywhere, bars everywhere that are open air, TVs outside in the windows, all showing various Olympic sports. Yo, they were going bananas for this nerdy dude playing ping pong that was representing France, but he was killing it, and people were watching that at the bar midday.
Nice.
Like what is happening here?
They
Like
don't play.
Parisians don't care about anything. Like that is their default disposition. Is like
Yeah.
Apathy.
Detached. Yeah.
Right? Like
Did
with
you
a
say
cigarette.
ennui? Like
With
that.
the cigarette.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
ennui.
basically ennui.
Inside out.
Yeah. Right? Like that is their default.
It
But-
strikes me that you're describing the opposite of LA, by the way, which is coming in 4
Yes.
years.
Which is why I'm not going to LA 2028. So you have ennui, who suddenly turned into joy for
Oh.
every single day of the Olympics. Like they were really going wild and ham for all of it. And then if you're at an Olympic event where there was a French athlete or a French team, they were so supportive and into it, and like yelling their minds out. Even if there wasn't a French athlete, people were hooting and hollering. So like one of the best things I did actually was see indoor volleyball group play, Canada versus Serbia. They were both out already. They had lost their group. They were not moving on to the knockout round. It's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday in this makeshift indoor gym that they put inside a convention center. And the crowd was ruckus, like really ruckus. Like it felt like Game 7 of NBA playoffs, ruckus. They're just like all for it. And part of it was just like the atmosphere of indoor volleyball, because they're playing music the whole time. People are chanting every time there's a block. People would be like, monster, monster, monster block. And if there's an ace, there's like a specific song and chant for an ace and spikes. And they had people hyping up the crowd. I don't know. Is everybody watching indoor volleyball all the time? I doubt it. But it was so easy to tap in and plug into that like, you sit down and suddenly you're at the party. You're at the party, you're part of it, and you're just having a great time.
Any sport's fun if people are hyped and everybody got the energy of damn near anything is fun. You could be skipping rocks, and if you got a crowd hyping it up, boy, you can
exactly.
shit out them rocks.
Exactly. They're like, oh my god, that pebble went 2 inches. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Takes you back to elementary school.
Yeah.
Foursquare battles where everybody's watching.
Boy, what? Boy, what?
There was never anything more hype than something like that.
Game 7.
Yes.
Game 7 energy.
All right, so they put on a great Olympics. The people really bought in, so that's really
everybody
good to hear.
Embraced it.
I hope LA is like that. We'll see. I mean, they're supposed to be doing some subways and shit to make things more accessible.
How are they going to build subways in 4 years?
I don't know, man. They're supposed to be trying.
It's taken New York like 20 to build an extension off an existing subway. I don't understand.
Where there's a will, there's a way. And they're relegating softball and canoeing or something or kayaking to Oklahoma City.
What?
Yeah. Somehow softball and there, because they already have Olympic like type venues, like ready venues there, and so they're going to send those two sports to Oklahoma City, kind of like how they sent surfing to Tahiti, but less
That makes more
glamorous.
sense.
Yeah,
You got to go where the waves are. There's
right.
no
Yeah,
waves in Paris.
it's not like they couldn't have had a softball stadium, but I get that the canoe thing, maybe like you don't really want to build a specific canoe thing in the middle of LA where there's no space for it and just be like, yep, and then in 4 years it'll be all abandoned and like graffitied over.
Don't y'all like not have water?
Yeah, there's no water in California anyway.
Exactly, right? You don't want that. I mean, there's no water in Oklahoma either. So anyways, yeah, I hope it turns out good like that. It could be. I mean, there's lots of cool venues. They're going to use Intuit Dome, the new Clippers place. So they've got all these great venues already set up.
They have the 1984 Olympic Stadium.
It's actually the 1932 Olympic Stadium.
Oh, really?
Or
And then it became the 1984 one?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so the
Oh, that's
Memorial
wild.
Coliseum's, yeah, it's been there. So this will be its third Olympics in the same place. I don't know how they're going to change it. They had to construct it differently or what is it called? Like renovate it when like football came in for like the Rams and stuff. And so they took out or they added more seats in the lower level that would encroach on where the track is going to be. So I don't know if they're going to have to like dig out some of those chairs or, you know, the lower seating to make the track fit again or whatever, but I'm sure they'll figure it out. They got 4 years to do
I think
it.
track needs a bigger stadium anyway, though. Right?
Maybe. Well, no, but I mean, I think they're going to do the track there. Well, I don't know.
Because they also have, don't the Chargers and the Rams have their own stadiums now?
They share a stadium, yeah.
Oh, they
But
share one.
They can't put a track. Yeah, they can't put a track there. I think they're going to have to do it in the Coliseum. So we'll see what they do.
Because like the biggest stadium in Paris was where they had track.
Okay.
Right.
It was a soccer stadium, probably, right? Or rugby or something.
No, it's like they use that soccer stadium for the national team. So it's like 100,000 seats.
Oof.
It's massive. It's massive. And they put track and field in there. They put soccer at the PSG football stadium, which is much smaller.
They were playing all over France. They were in like Marseille, they were in Lille, they were in all these places.
At smaller venues.
Yeah.
So one thing I will say, what LA and what the US needs to do by 2028 is actually come up with some better chants for Team USA.
USA. You can't just say
that is like the weakest chant of all time. Like it's obnoxious. It's too MAGA. Like it really
sums us up as a country pretty well.
Yeah. Like the connotation is just like yuck.
Maybe it's what we deserve,
it's got to stink to it. It's got to stink to it. And it doesn't last. The thing that I noticed at the Olympics, I had the privilege to go to one soccer match, which was Morocco versus USA. We got spanked. We lost like 4-0. We were the Raygun. We were the Raygun in this. This is men's.
This is men's team.
We were definitely we were there to make the other team look good. And all the Morocco fans like flooded the stadium because Morocco has a long history with France, so they had a huge presence.
Colonialism.
And the best part was that they were chanting and singing nonstop the entire match, high energy, and multiple songs. It wasn't the same song over and over, and they weren't just yelling the name of their country. They weren't just going Morocco, Morocco, Morocco. That would be boring as hell. They were musical, okay? They had full songs. They did different variations. They had call and response from across the stadium, different fans. They had things that united everybody all at once. They had chants for specific players. And meanwhile, I'm sitting on the corner over here by like one lone USA fan who knows who's actually playing on USA Soccer, because like I didn't. And he's out there trying to like get the other US fans to sing. And what is he singing? He's singing Yankee Doodle Dandy or some crap like that.
No.
Or he was doing like the ants go marching in, but replacing ants with Yankees.
Oh no.
And it was like, dude, no one is chiming in with you on any of that. That is weak. So me and Anna, like we were talking about, like we need some songs. We need some songs. She has suggested that we appropriate one of Two Live Crew's tracks from the 90s, like a booty bass song where it's like pump pump get it, shake that with it. She was like convinced that could work
It
in
could
a
work.
soccer.
I think that might be, honestly, this whole
I don't
thing
know.
you were giving in the back of my head. I'm like, we Americans, that's just not. I don't think we can do that, bro.
Yeah,
But
we
the
don't have a
moment
collective
but
song.
the moment he said "booty 2 Live Crew," I was like, oh shit, your wife's a fucking genius. Like that might do it. If you could do a back that ass up variation, but like switch up some of the lyrics, Juvenile would absolutely take that bag. Maybe we need to commission Juvenile.
What about like Hammer Time, like MC Hammer?
It's too.
Can you sing that?
I
It's a
don't
little
know.
dated.
But it's a good chanty, right? It's like there's a chant to it.
Yeah, but like when that comes on, people don't drop what they're doing. When Back That Ass Up come on, people stop what they're doing.
That's true.
To go to that song. Like there's levels to this, and I'm sure that. But Two Live Crew could be no, Brian. I think you're onto something of like we need to commission them. Maybe a song with Snoop Dogg. Like maybe we take him.
Oh, it's got to be Snoop.
And
Yeah,
do a Drop It Like It's Hot remix, but some kind of like Team USA Olympic chant, and we got to bring that energy. But I think that's the only way. It's not gonna be some old song. Our cultures that. Yeah, Wes, to your point, that ain't gonna work.
It's
But
got
it's
to be
hard.
uniting, right?
Hard,
and
yeah.
and easy enough for everybody to participate.
But
But that's the thing. Like you've seen, watch it like Wrexham, or what is it called?
Welcome to Wrexham.
Welcome to Wrexham. They have like a whole song about Super Paul Mullen and like all of the things that he does, and it's like an actual poem. I like, how are we going to learn that in, as a collective, 60,000 people?
We can't. We gotta do it the American way, which is modifying our booty-based pop culture songs.
Okay,
come and ride the train,
and it's still authentic to us. And it's still authentic to who we are. So it's not like it's fake. That's as American as it gets. What are y'all chants? This poem, a ballad written by our greatest. Cool. Ours is a modified lyric swap about booty. What's cracking? What's up?
Back that ass up.
What's up?
Flow Rider, yeah. Apple bottom jeans.
Something.
Oh yeah, maybe that could work if you change the lyrics but kept the melody.
They would take the bag, cut them.
But you got to teach people.
Cut them a check, and hey, you got to start playing it. Yeah, but
the Austin soccer team has a big supporters section, and a bunch of people belong to it, and they have a musical section. So there's a bunch of drums and like trombone stuff, and they do songs the whole time, and there's chants that go with it and stuff. And so people kind of catch on, and there's some supporters, who are just and literally they do it the whole entire match. They only take a break at halftime. So it's definitely.
Are you able to catch on?
Yeah. You can catch on to most of what they're saying. There's a few that I don't know what they're saying at all, and so you just kind of like have to let them, do it. You can like if you really want to, you can find it. They got like QR codes and stuff around the stadium where you can look up the lyrics. But yeah, I mean that atmosphere where you've got chants going the whole time, kind of like European soccer or European basketball, for sure. That makes it, just 10 times better. Like
that's it. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. Suddenly, you want to play hard for your country.
Yeah.
Like you're hearing Yankee Doodle Dandy, I'm gonna sit on the bench. Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna become an expat.
Yeah, we're gonna eat my nachos and just hang out and enjoy this like a picnic.
Yeah, I'm getting drunk.
I'm gonna immigrate. I'm actually
all right. Well, we didn't get to talk about current USA basketball, other than Jason Tatum becoming a meme about not playing or something like that.
Look,
not showing up.
Look, man, it was just nice to have Steph Curry do Steph Curry stuff.
Oh my god, that was so good.
And not be on the receiving end of it, man. Like I was like, oh man, this is great to cheer for. Because for the last 10 years of my life,
making all these guys cry.
Yeah, because the last 10 years, I've been the one crying. I watched that man Curry beat all my favorite teams for the better part of LeBron, the Pelicans, the Rockets, the Clippers, every team I like. Steph Curry just ripped their heart out with three. So it was very nice to. Happen to someone else.
Yeah, he crushed the hope of an entire country.
He really did.
Who gets to say that? Very few.
In their country too, right? Not even just like at a neutral
in their
site.
faces.
In their country.
It's like, here's your heart, crush.
I do owe Joel Embiid an apology. I was very skeptical about his ability to be on the court when it mattered, and he proved me wrong. As the tournament went on, he became more and more useful, and hit some important mid rangers and a three. I think he hit a three in that last game that we really needed because we didn't win by a lot. So hats off to Joel Embiid for kind of coming through in that last game where we really needed somebody to be able to shoot that mid ranger.
But LeBron and Steph, yeah.
LeBron, Steph,
Are they sold us?
and
Are
KD
they joining
man.
up?
Oh, are they? No, they're never joining up. That's not gonna happen. But that would be awesome.
It was cool to see.
Ridiculous that that the oldest dudes, Steph, LeBron, and KD, were the most important players the entire Olympics run.
Experience matters.
It does, and just their games translate really well. Obviously, shooting translates in any version of the sport, but KD being able to just get to a spot and rise up when they can pack the paint and not having to get to the, you don't have to get to the bucket in the Olympics all the time. And if you can exploit the mid range, then you're on like Donkey Kong, and obviously LeBron just his supercomputer just passing.
His favorite thing, pass to a shooter.
Yeah, and then he was hitting the 3-ball too, and then driving to the bucket. LeBron made fun of LeBron. He said our end of game plan was just LeBron go get a layup, and he would do it. Like the defense is geared to stop him from getting a layup, and he would do it anyways.
I never seen a man's signature play just to do a game-winning layup. That's the most disrespectful shit. And he don't be doing nothing like super cute. He don't do like a Kyrie layup.
No finger roll.
This man just
it is the backhand, right?
Yeah,
the right side, right hand.
Yeah, but like he's ultimately just blowing by you and laying the ball up. I'm like, this is so disrespectful.
He just said, "I'm on varsity, you're on JV. Get in the bucket."
No, it's great.
You in the sidecar, you a passenger, bro. We're going.
Yeah, it was great to watch.
And good for them for doing it. It's not easy, given that all these other teams have that chemistry. We talked about that last time. So, in the world, like Savon's a big fan of saying the world's caught up.
I can't wait for South Sudan, man. I would love to see them become monstrous.
Yeah. I mean, Luol Deng's been putting a lot of his own money and time into building up their, really a lot of African basketball infrastructure.
So really, the Lakers are responsible for that because they gave him that shitty ass contract that allows him to do all of this stuff. So, I think
I think Chicago gave him that.
The
bread
Lakers
too.
are also
halfway
responsible.
He got a bunch of Chicago money too. I think Chicago gave him bread too. He made a lot of money.
This mini episode turned into a full episode somewhere along the way. So, friends, we gotta go. I'm starving. And tired. I'm tired of talking.
Got the Paralympics.
Paralympics are coming up too. Yeah, I don't know. Murder ball. Can we watch wheelchair basketball? It's gonna be good times.
Next up, hot ones in Detroit.
Did you see volleyball? Paralympic volleyball. They sit on the floor. You have to be sitting.
Wait, really?
And all the volleyball. It's a smaller court because obviously you're not covering as much ground, and the volleyball happens with everybody sitting.
Is the net lower?
Net is lower. Yeah.
Nice.
Interesting.
It's still pretty cool, and they still get some good shots in.
Mm-hmm. Well, people, Brian, hot ones. Yeah, I'm with it. Hot ones.
Hit us up, fans.
All right, find a good
wing spot. What are we doing in Detroit?
Find a good wing spot for us. I can't handle super spicy, so keep that in mind.
Are we gonna make Wes smoke a bowl?
No, Wes. I'm afraid Wes is one of the people I think should never smoke weed.
How much sillier would I get?
I don't know. I think you just get paranoid and uncomfortable.
No, that's Brian.
That was me in Colorado.
That's great.
I'm lost in the bathroom. Never making it home.
All right, friends.
See y'all soon.
All right. Happy Saturday. Haters.
Peace.